Welcome to Congregation Agudath Shalom's This Week in Jewish History. This week marks the anniversary of a major turning point in one of the great tragedies of Jewish life in the Middle Ages. Most of us associate the great tragedy of medieval Spanish Jewry to 1492, the year of the expulsion of the Jews from Spain. But in fact, an even greater catastrophe occurred to Spain's Jews a century earlier, in 1391. What happened then? King John I, who you see on your left, who had ruled Castile since 1379, died in October of 1390. He was succeeded by his son Henry III, who you see on your right, who was only 11 years old at the time. Due to Henry's young age, there was no one to assert authority over the lands under him. The trouble for the Jews primarily started in Seville, in southern Spain. Already in the early months of 1391, incendiary anti-Jewish sermons by a certain priest named Ferran Martinez inflamed mobs of local residents. He called on the mobs to force the Jews to convert to Catholicism or face death. And finally, on June 6th, of that year, 1391, after months and months of inflammatory speeches, the mobs attacked the Jewish quarter of Seville, killing thousands of Jews. The riots soon spread to other major Spanish areas, including Córdoba, Toledo, and Castile. In Barcelona, an old and very prominent Jewish community, home to such legends as the Ramban and the Rashba, great medieval commentators and rabbinic authorities, the Jewish quarter was completely destroyed. As a result of the riots, over 10,000 Jews were killed, and many more were forcibly converted to Christianity. Others fled Spain entirely, mainly moving to North Africa. While some Jews who converted completely embraced Catholicism, others only pretended to be Christian on the outside while continuing to practice Judaism in secret to the best of their abilities. These crypto-Jews called themselves Anusim, the Hebrew word for those that were forced to convert. They became known to the Spanish authorities as New Christians, and colloquially as Marranos, which actually is a derogatory term meaning pigs. Sadly, the tragic results of 1391 were not just felt then, but had long-term impacts for the Jews of Spain as well. Suspicions of New Christians and the question of whether they were indeed sincere in their adoption of Catholicism eventually led to the establishment of the Inquisition in 1478, charged with hunting down crypto-Jews and other heretics. Thank you for listening, and have a good day.